Morning Manna Church, welcome to day 3 of this week's 21 days of prayer and fasting. We are still digging into God's call for us to pursue holiness. Now, if you remember, God calls his people, that would be us, to be holy, to be different, to live lives that are set apart from sin and evil and worldliness. This calling involves repentance and surrender, and this calling, it's not a suggestion, it's actually a command from God. All of God's commands are, of course, important, but this command to pursue holiness is especially important because it touches on so many aspects of our lives. Yesterday, we saw that pursuing holiness helps us run our race well. Today, we'll see that our pursuit of holiness is indispensable to experiencing the fullness of God's promises for our lives. The journey of the Israelites provides a great illustration of this point. With great power, the Israelites were delivered by God from slavery under Egyptian rule. But God didn't just want to deliver them from captivity. He had a destiny prepared for them. He wanted to lead them into a land of milk and honey, a land of promise. To get to that land, God led them on a long journey through the wilderness. During that time, he patiently taught them, instructed them, he disciplined them, he led them, he fought for them, he protected them, he provided for them, and he fed them. In other words, he blessed them. He really supernaturally blessed them. The Israelites had truckloads of testimonies of God's love, faithfulness, provision, and power, but the blessings of God should never be confused with the destiny of God. The Israelites were greatly blessed, but most didn't make it into the promised land. They died in the wilderness. While they experienced some of God's promises in the wilderness, they died outside of the fullness of God's promises for them. Why? In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, we're told that the Israelites persisted in sin. They engaged in idolatry, sexual immorality, testing of the Lord, and grumbling and complaining. Even after experiencing God's blessings, patient instruction, encouragement, warnings, and discipline, most remained stubborn and unrepentant. Now, what does this story have to do with us? What has this story to do with God's command to us to pursue holiness? Well, in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 6 and 11, we find the answers. These things occurred as examples to keep us from setting our hearts on evil things as they did. These things happened to them as examples and were written down as warnings for us. The Lord is not a harsh taskmaster. He's loving, patient, kind, and compassionate. But he is serious. He's serious about his love for us. He died for us, bringing us a salvation that sets us free from eternity in hell and from captivity to the world and sin. He's serious about bringing true meaning, stability, and purpose to our lives. He's serious about fathering us. He patiently instructs us, encourages us, disciplines us, provides for us. God is serious about holiness. Pursuing holiness is his chosen pathway for us to experience the fullness of his promises for us. Seen in this light, pursuing holiness is much better than holding on to idols, engaging in sexual impurity, constantly doubting or testing the Lord, or grumbling or complaining. Don't you think? Hope to see you tomorrow.